let's now head to Parliament, where the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation GNPC's bid to have its 2016 budget approved has suffered another setback as the minority forces speaker have forced the speaker to defer the question of the motion that will approve the budget. Here are excerpts of the debate in Parliament today.
The Speaker will start by discussing concerns raised about GNPC's mandate, which is clearly spelled out in PNDC Law 64. Under this law, GNPC is empowered to undertake exploration, development, production, and the disposal of petroleum products, including gas. And it is expected to conduct these operations alone or in association with others. Mr. Speaker, indeed, in disposing of petroleum that is discovered, the law empowers GNPC to make investments in its assets and infrastructure that will enable the primary object of disposal to be achieved. So, Mr. Speaker, you will see that all of the concerns that has been raised about the activities in these areas has to do with GNPC's mandate for the disposal of gas, specifically. Mr. Speaker, and this is very important because we all know that the capacity to dispose of oil is easy, but Ghana has just entered the gas era. And so you will see in the coming years that GNPC will be focused on a lot of activities that involves pipelines, storage facilities, transportation, floating and fixed storage facilities, energy infrastructure, including power plants. Mr. Speaker, the point was made about $100 million that GNPC has used as a guarantee for the power barge from Car Power.
Mr. Speaker, the minister was trying to advise the House or educate the House on the core functions of GNPC, and he says that advancing $100 million to Car Power or whatever, it's part of his guarantee. Where does it appear under the law?
Honorable KT that is the view of the minister. It is winding up.
No, Mr. Speaker, he's not talking about his view. He's telling us the law. He's quoted the law and telling us the function of the GNPC.
Please, are we doing the interpretation of the PNDC Law 64? Are we doing the interpretation of the law? It can only be his view on the matter. It can only be his view on the matter. Nothing less, nothing more. He's contributing. That is his opinion. That is the minister's opinion.
He is correcting the wrong impressions created by us. And how can that be his impression of the law when he is telling us about things that we don't know?
Honorable Minister, please, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as I pointed out, the guarantee that has been provided has enabled this barge to come into the country. GNPC, participation in the power project, is at the level of a guarantee. And let me state it clearly. That has enabled the power barge.
Honorable Member, sit down. Yes, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I am aware that there's a matter at the Supreme Court where GNPC's guarantee to Car Power is being challenged. I want to know, seek your direction. Is the minister permitted to comment on the matter that's at the Supreme Court?
Mr. Speaker, on the point of the guarantee, let me state clearly that does not involve cash that has been given. It is cash placed at an interest-bearing bank owned by GNPC, which provided the basis for the guarantee. Mr. Speaker, it is therefore a committee.
Yes, Honorable Deputy.
Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Deputy Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I don't intend to challenge your ruling, not at all. But Mr. Speaker, in the infamous Merchant Bank Fortis ruling, you were very clear that once a case is in court, you do not want Parliament to be seen usurping the powers of the court or even challenging them. So nobody could comment on it. I don't know whether the fact that your attention has been brought by the honourable member is not enough.
Honorable Deputy, I never said that. Go and look at my ruling. because in drawing, I draw on the experience of the House of Commons and the Kenyan standing orders to even determine whether the case is active. I have to look at the reliefs. So go back and look at my rulings very well. I never say it's not automatic. I have to look at the reliefs that is being sought in the court. I have to even find out whether the case is active. So I have not seen any of those matters. So I never said any of those things. And anybody who wants to raise that matter should have brought that information, draw my attention to it with the necessary papers for me to form an opinion on the matter. As I now, I do not have anything of this nature. I have not heard it. Honorable Minister, please continue and conclude.
Mr. Speaker, I think it's what I'm trying to do this morning.
Honorable Minority Leader.
Speaker, the Minister has informed us that the $100 million has been placed in an interest-bearing bank owned by GNPC. What is the name of that bank that is owned by GNPC?
Honorable,
to the best of my knowledge, GNPC does not
Honorable Minister,
any bank.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I think there's a Standard Bank of South Africa with their local banks are Stanbic and Fidelity Bank. But Mr. Speaker, going forward, I think the point that I'm making is clear. The whole of this week in the debates, the issues that have been raised has to do with 100 million here, 50 million there. Where is the money? What I'm trying to do is to explain clearly what the money has been used for, and whether or not what has been done is in the interest of the people of Ghana. Mr. Speaker, why was it important for GNPC to guarantee the car power badge? Mr. Speaker, in this parliament, in the debate leading up to the approval of the levies, Mr. Speaker, we all collectively agreed that the energy sector, that VRA and ECG were indebted, and that their capacity to go into the market, borrow, was quite frankly weakened, and that we need to strengthen them. That's why we passed those levies to strengthen them. Mr. Speaker, it is in this context that GNPC, within its mandate, as I have explained, came in to guarantee that badge. And Mr. Speaker, it is clear we have to speak in a way that makes sure people understand. We were doing this at a time when, quite frankly, we were in power crisis, jobs, industries were collapsing, and people were losing their jobs. They're not interested in that. So, Mr. Speaker, if you want to know where the 100 million was, it is lying in the bank, and so far, ECG has been paying car power for the electricity being produced, and that money, a dime of it has not been touched. It is a guarantee. And what we have collectively done in this parliament with the levies, hopefully, and the reforms we are undertaking with ECG, is that we are going to get to the day where ECG will not default. So GNPC's investment, quite frankly, will be secure. That's what the 100 million has done. Mr. Speaker, the other point was $50 million. And the argument was made, GNPC is now Bank of Ghana. It's giving money to government. Is that the case?
So that's what transpired today in Parliament in relation to the GNPC's budget for 2016. It's still something which is causing a lot of controversy. It's not been approved yet. The minority has pushed for the Speaker to defer its approval. They have rejected it, the minority. We'll see what happens in the next coming days. But remember that we are already in the 6th month of this year. So if the budget also delays further, that will mean that what is supposed to be approved for this year would be left in a whole matter of controversy. We'll see how that plays out in the coming days.